everyone, welcome back to Clover Knows Pets. I'm Clover and today I'm going to be showing you how to make fresh chop for parrots or other bird species. This mix is good for all parrots, large and small, anything from budgies, also known as parakeets, all the way up to cockatiels and macaws and cockatoos. And this mix is also good to complement the diet of finches, canaries, quail, stuff like that. Anyways, the mix I'm making is particularly for our two budgies and our Goffin's cockatoo. But yeah, anyways, let's get started. The ingredients for this mix are going to be spring mix, broccoli sprouts, kale, golden beets, cilantro, radishes, zucchini, carrots, purple cabbage, habanero peppers, bell peppers, and asparagus. Now, although these are the main ingredients in the chop, since I do have smaller birds and seed-eating birds, such as my budgies, I will be adding various seeds in later, so stay tuned for that. I will go over what seeds I'm adding and why I'm adding those specific ones. But yeah, this is healthy for all birds, but especially with things like budgies and cockatiels that naturally are grass seed-eating birds in the wild. It's good to incorporate seeds and legumes into their chop. First thing we're going to do is, really quick and easy, add in the broccoli sprouts. Next we're going to take the spring mix and bunch it up pretty tight. Obviously you don't want to squeeze it too tight, but bunch it up tight and then chop it into stringy bits. Or, well, I guess slices, if you're imagining this is one object. Just like that. Once you're done with that, it should be chopped into longer pieces like this. Now, of course, depending on your birds specifically, not their size, but just their personality on their own, you might want to chop it more or less, or not chop it at all. So yeah, just experiment with different sizes and shapes. All birds like things differently. Anyways, add that to the bowl, and then you're going to do the same thing with the kale. There we go. Next, we're going to do the asparagus. Now, my birds are very picky, but I like to chop off the ends just because they won't eat it for some reason. And you don't have to do this, but if you do, I highly recommend you don't just throw it away and instead put it in a compost bin, or at least throw it in your yard or in a wildlife area. That is better than throwing it away. Now, I'm going to just chop it up just like that, then add that to the bowl too. I'm going to chop up the cilantro. Since it's such a fine leaf and has so many different just textures on the leaves, my birds tend to eat it a lot more whole and hearty, so I'm going to chop it into larger bits. But once again, do whatever your bird likes best. There we go. Chop the leafy bits into larger pieces, and then the stem into smaller pieces. Personally, I absolutely love the smell of cilantro and the taste, but I know a lot of people think it tastes and smells like soap. Comment down below what you think. I don't know, I love it. Anyways, moving on. Next up is zucchini. Just gonna chop off the top here. It's really hard to do this one-handed, by the way. Put that in the compost bin, or pile. By the way, I actually feed mine to my feeder insects since I have reptiles, so this will be eaten by dubia roaches, mealworms, and crickets. Anyways, for zucchini, I like to grate it since it is a lot more hardy and it holds. There we go. Now, for things like the zucchini, they're actually very, very, very juicy, and something that a lot of people seem to do is try and drain the juice. Which, in all fairness, it does make your chop last longer, but doing that is taking away a lot of the nutrients in your chop, and really is not something you should be doing. A good way to combat the juice is to be adding dried seeds and legumes, which I will talk about later in the video. Anyways, I'm also going to be grating up the yellow beet, the radishes, and the carrots. Done, and done. Next up is the purple cabbage. I'm just going to start by taking a big chunk out of this. Oh, I love how beautiful that looks. Anyways, gonna flop that over and chop it into strips. There we go. Then I'm gonna turn it sideways and chop it again. Done. Add that in. Now we're gonna do the bell peppers. First, chop off the tops, but make sure you put the seeds in the chop because birds love them. Now I'm going to chop them into strips. Done. Now I'm just going to dice it a little bit, make it a little more fine than this. But first I do want to add in a few of them like this because my birds do like that. Done. Add that in. And we're actually going to put the other peppers, the spicy peppers, aside because I do mix this in with the seeds, and so I am going to add these after. That way I don't end up sneezing and coughing and getting pepper in my eyes. I have an extremely low pain tolerance. Sorry, spice tolerance. Since we ran out of room in the bowl, I'm actually going to move it to this tray. There we go. Mix this up real quick. By the way, I did wash my hands before the video, of course. Once it's all mixed, you can either end ear or add in dry ingredients. Otherwise, stick around because I am going to be talking about a solution for the whole wet chop problem, which is what I was mentioning with the zucchini from earlier. Also, smell your chop. It smells delicious. I love the smell of it. But I also love cilantro, so. Anyways, instead of draining your chop or squeezing out the extra juice, you should be adding something dry to soak it up. That way, the birds still get the delicious juice from it and the nutrients from the juice from the veggies, and you get a less moist chop. Now, of course, you don't want your chop dry. It is veggies, but you don't want a pool of water at the bottom of the bowl. Let me show you what I'm adding. First, some non-cultivated wild rice. Then we're going to add some rainbow quinoa, also known as red, white, and black quinoa. I'm also adding some hemp seeds, but they don't help suck up moisture. They're just for general healthy reasons. Plus, my birds love them. Then I'm adding red lentils, so we have a legume in here. Dried fruits and berries can also be added. I'm going to be using some dried elderberries. I'm also going to be adding some of this mix. This is Nature's Salad by Rosewood Naturals, which is a small pet company. It's got a lot of different good ingredients, but it's mostly different herbs and flowers. Next, I'm going to add some Shelby's and Mikey and Mia's spicy seed mix. This is by a food brand based in the UK called Mikey and Mia's. They're also a YouTube channel. They're awesome. Go check them out. But yeah, they do ship to a lot of different countries, including the US and Canada, so that's nice. If you're wondering, this is what both of those mixes look like. This is the spicy seed mix, and that's the calming seed mix. The ingredients are awesome, and the only unhealthy things in them would be the sunflower seeds, and those are sprouted, which makes them a lot healthier. But yeah, great mixes. Anyways, that's all. Now time to add the peppers, then mix it up. For these peppers, I'm going to cut it up the same way as the bell peppers. Also, in case you're wondering, no, spicy peppers are not dangerous to your birds. Spicy peppers are not actually spicy and do not actually hurt your mouth. It's a specific oil or chemical within the peppers that reacts with your brain, or well, technically your taste buds and then neurons, but anyways, whatever it is, it basically tricks your brain into thinking that there is something hot, as in temperature hot, on your tongue, and therefore your brain makes it feel like it's hurting when it's actually not doing any harm. Birds don't have that weird feeling, and therefore they can eat spicy peppers without them being spicy at all. That's right, Carolina Reapers and all. Anyways, I'm going to mix this up and then add the peppers, then we'll be done. Done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to comment down below to tell me if you think cilantro is good or bad. And let me know if you'd like to see another video like this, because I do make a new fresh batch of chop every single week for my birds, and every single batch is different. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching.